Right, friends, we are on part 3. First time I've ever done a part 3 of Joseph Alai's video, The Easiest Way to Manifest Your Desires, You Are God. We've been talking about the concepts that Joseph is covering in this video here. If you haven't seen part 1 and 2, I highly recommend go back and watch those, because I mean, it might make sense if you just jump in and watch it from here, but it'd probably be better to get some context by watching those other 2 videos. So we've got 4 minutes left. Yeah, we've got 4 minutes left. So, and I've already done 2 parts and it's only been 10 minutes. So we're going to jump in. We're just going to start.
Okay? And when you come to that point where you've received it in a natural, miraculous way, you will have no idea you created it unless you are deliberately doing it. But most of the time, it's not until the very end.
So Joseph is talking here about the concept of your current reality has been created and molded by your beliefs and by the thoughts that you most regularly hold. And actually, unless you were doing it intentionally, you probably won't even realize, like, unless you're specifically looking back in a hindsight kind of situation, you probably won't even realize that that's what's happened.
That we become aware and remember what we have imagined. I have utilized this technique or this idea or this step-by-step series of instructions in order to create everything that I have. My business was solely created by me imagining that I was on vacation, overlooking the beautiful greenery and speaking to someone how grateful I was that I was on my own, that I was grateful that I only had to work a couple days a week. And so all of that itself implied that I was free. I was traveling. I had my own business. I had enough money to do the things that I wanted. And it wasn't.
Yeah. And actually, this is what I love is some teachers, some belief systems, some processes and concepts teach this very rigid idea of, like, you know, just affirm the exact thing that you want. I want £1 million. I'm getting £1 million. I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm rich. Where's the subtlety? You know, our brain, and this is also a concept that Neville Goddard touches on, is that our subconscious is not a slave to us and to our awareness. And actually, if you treat it as such, of just like, bam, like demanding, giving it orders, manifest this, you will actually soon realize that it is not our slave, and it actually does not respond very well to stuff like that. But what Joseph has just explained is actually a perfect example of how to work with the subtlety of our subconscious mind by imagining a scenario that just touches on the idea that it's already happened. Because how else would you be doing that if you hadn't already manifested everything that you wanted? Right? So you're impressing within your subconscious mind that it doesn't matter how it happens. I just want to be in this state, which is exactly the way to go. If you're saying, I want this exact person, I want to be in a relationship with this exact person, oftentimes your subconscious mind will actually reject that. And I'm sure we've been in circumstances like that. I certainly have, where I'm far too attached. And usually it does happen with a person, to be perfectly honest. And you couldn't get them if you paid them, you know, like literally, because that's not how it works. You do have to be quite detached, quite removed, quite aloof in a way. And that's when you're attracting, you're radiating, you're bringing it in. You're not desperate for it. You're not clinging to it. You're not, this has to come. Like, if I don't get this, my life is ruined, you know, like your subconscious mind is like, well, life's ruined then, I guess. Deal with it. You're like, damn it, subconscious mind. It can be a tricky beast, but if you learn how to you know, just coax it out, even yourself, you know that if someone's demanding something of you, you don't want to do it. It's just law, it's just nature. Whereas if someone is, you know, making something seem as though, oh, this would be fun, you're like, yeah, maybe it would. Anyway, let's watch this video.
It was only 2 or 3 weeks later where a random chain of events started unfolding. I had no business at all, and then suddenly it turned into one. And then ultimately I wound up in Thailand a while later, unknowing of this whole thing. And it wasn't.
Just quickly, this is also another thing about visualization. Visualization is just a technique to get yourself into the vibration of what you want to feel. Okay. It's not necessarily about visualizing it exactly how it will happen, because a lot of the time you don't even know what it will look like. Your subconscious, your higher self, the universe knows far more than you do, the cooperative components that will lead you to your desire. And by you feeling, no, it has to happen this way, you can actually block yourself from all the different inspirations that your subconscious is trying to show you, or your higher self is trying to show you. So what Joseph is just saying, that it just came out of nowhere. He couldn't have predicted it. So don't cut yourself off from things that you can't predict from where you're currently looking at things.
Until I had turned to my friend and said, you know, how awesome is this that I'm here and I'm done working, that it clicked. It was the exact thing that I had imagined. People, manifesting specific people, or manifesting a general person. I've done it. You imagine you're with that person and things may go south. They may not go south, but ultimately whatever happens, you'll wind up at a point where you are with them, and then you will remember. General person wrote down a list, done this multiple times, written down a list of characteristics. This is by accident on my behalf. The first time that I ever realized that you can create by writing a list down of all characteristics as if you have it now, and then closing that book and putting it away. Like, my wife is this, or my.
Again, just another way to get into the feeling space of having it. You can do it any way you want, any way that resonates the most with you. If you like to write, if you like to think, if you like to visualize, if you like to speak, if you like to play out, like act out scenes, whatever it takes to feel as if you currently have it, as if you already have it, do it. Doesn't matter if it's not like a specific process. Figure out what works for you. That's actually, for me, is the most rewarding way. It's like, I like this. I like this. It's not necessarily a method. Maybe I've like molded two methods together, but it works. So I do it.
My girlfriend is this, and writing down all the attributes. And within the course of weeks and months, or days even, I've had someone appear, and it wasn't until weeks or months later where I realized they fulfilled my imaginal act. You can go on and on and on with this, with health, with wealth, with love, with happiness, with spirituality, with mystical experience, proving to yourself that you are that operant power as described in scripture as God, meaning that God is you. It's not some other person. That Christ is you. So whatever you want, all you have to do is imagine you already have it. You create a scene that implies that you already have it. And upon sleeping, you imagine that thing in a repetitive nature over and over until you saturate your mind with it. You make sure it's after the end. You think from the scene as if it's in first person point of view, meaning not imagining seeing yourself from a distance creating these acts. It's actually being yourself. You should have the exact same perspective as you do right now in your imaginal act. And upon doing that, you will impress your subconscious mind, and the bridge of incidents will unfold, and it will lead you to your end, and you will get whatever it is that you want. I hope that you like this. It's been a while since I've made a video, so I needed to go into the specifics as to how to create the general nature of it. If you like this and you would want more very specific instructions and detailed stories and analysis of myself and many others of how to create anything that you want in a mystical way, you manifest it, then hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. And if you're into more group setting stuff or live Zoom workshops, go to my website, vip.josephali.com, and sign up for the next one. It's coming up soon. So thank you for watching this. I hope it was helpful. Do what you do, like, subscribe, bell icon, all the rest, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Okay. So, what's that? No, I would not like to know that. How do I stop? There we go. Cool. So, I'll be honest, I think that was the video I watched before. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Stop that. Good. I think that was the video I watched before. And actually, this is something that keeps happening to me as well, is that I'll watch something again and it'll seem completely different because I'm watching it through different eyes, you know? So when I first watched that video, it really stuck with me that Joseph, when I've just watched it there, he doesn't seem to be doing this for some reason. But when I first watched it, the concept of Joseph saying, I am God, really kind of stuck with me and was like, because my belief is that I completely agree with everything Joseph is saying in terms of our awareness is the creator. And if you purely view God as the creator, then yes. If that's what you want to equate those words to, then yes, that's fine. But for me, God is more, and God is part of me, but it's not all of me. This is what Abraham Hicks speaks about, is that your higher self, God, the universe, whatever word insert here, is non-physically focused. And that is the part of you that when you have a desire, immediately knows that it's possible, immediately is just giving positive energy to it, and immediately is in a place where it is already manifest. And this part of me is the physically focused part of me, that I have to kind of stay in my lane, as Abraham Hicks and Esther says. I have to stay in my lane. I have to keep myself on the course, if you like. I have to be guided by my emotions. My thoughts will influence my emotions. And then I will be guided by my higher self, by God, by the part of me that is non-physically focused, to reach those desires. And that's what, like I say, all of these concepts, all of these processes, they are just getting you to a place where you can get that idea, where you can be led down the path. And I can't remember who it was that said it, but someone, it may have even been Abraham actually, that said, when you're in the right vibrational space, area, whatever you want to call it, the path appears beneath your feet. You are never off of your path. It's impossible. You can be steered slightly, further away from your desires, but you are always on the path. And when you tune your radio to the correct station, the path will appear beneath your feet. And then you take a step, and you take a step, and you take a step, and then before you know it, you're where you want to be. And like I say, that new space of where you wanted to be will produce more desires. It's natural. You can't get it wrong. You can't get it done. You won't ever get it done. You'll be satisfied along the way, because a satisfied journey produces a satisfied end. But you will always want more. It won't create this huge sense of negative emotion within you that I don't have this and I want this and I feel lack. It won't feel like that because you will have come from a satisfied place. So I'm going to finally end this video. 45 minutes later, 3 parts later, I think I'm done talking on this for today. And I will see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.